Okay. Yeah, I have put it on this Facebook. You got it? You got it? Screenshot.
Say something, G.
Something G. Sounds good in here. It's not echoing.
No, it shouldn't echo. I was just listening.
I think it's gonna echo because it's on there. Like it's on the thing.
I was just watching it on live.
Should I put my camera on lower or
what?
Should I lower my camera? No, huh?
You can. You can lower it a little bit.
Oh yeah, mine's all the way up. Test, test. Can you hear? Oh yeah, mine's all the way up. Test, test.
Oh, you good now.
That's good. Yeah.
That's how you sound on YouTube right now. You live, so go.
You said at 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock.
It's 1:59.
There's 1 minute left. I had to do it live so we can test it though.
Oh wow, thanks.
Got you.
Well, hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the Community Conversations here with my co-host, Gloria. We'll go ahead and let her take over at this point. Hey everybody, happy Sunday. My name is Gloria Maya. I'm the president of Unity Violence and Incarceration Prevention. Today's our community conversation, our first podcast. I want to welcome everybody. We're all family in this conversation. The truth might hurt, but it's going to start healing the process as well. I have my beautiful, also my co-host here, Ms. Jasmine. And where are you from, Ms. Jasmine? Yes. Hey, y'all. From Beautifully Scarred. This tells survivors of trauma with disabilities. We all have gone through some type of trauma in our life, and I feel that when we unite and understand and talk about it more, I think it will start the process of healing, and especially for those in circumstances to come. At the end of the day, we are in this world together, and we might as well do it together. So that's where I'm at. That's right. And together, I'm happy I'm here with her. We know each other for years, and today's topic is so influential to all relationships. We're gonna be talking about healthy relationships. What does that look like? What does that sound like? We might even dabble into unhealthy, toxic relationships, and what does that sound like, and what does that look like? Do you want to start jumping off? Yes. So today's topic of conversations is about relationships. So I don't think that we take in account of what is a relationship. So Gloria, I'm gonna ask you this question. What is a relationship? What does relationship mean to you? It has many meanings actually. We could have professional relationships, intimate relationships, spiritual relationships. So to me, in just a generalization, it's a intimate, emotional connection with another being or spirituality. That's how I see it. Yes, I totally agree. How about you? Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, because I feel like relationship to me is those things as well. And a lot of times I feel like the first thing when we think about relationships, we think about relationship with another person, whether it's at the job, whether it's at home, you know what I'm saying? But where I feel like I've learned in my life is really what is the relationship you have with yourself. And that's the person that I didn't nurture a lot. And now that I'm coming now, I see that that's who I need to nurture first, you know, because when I learn how to talk to myself, I'll be able to talk to others better. Absolutely. When I learn when I learn to understand myself, I can understand others better, because all it is, we're a reflection of each other, whether we like it or not, like we are. So I feel like the process of the relationship really starts with you. Absolutely. You talked about a reflection of who you are. And sometimes we don't know that we're a negative reflection, and we attract, like you said, people in our lives
we might think, oh, we're happy-go-lucky, we have a good job, we have money, we have cars, I'm set.
Right.
But if your energy is not right, nobody wants to be around you.
Right.
You ain't healthy for me.
Yeah.
You might be healthy for you.
Yeah.
But you're someone who I choose not to be around.
Yes.
So you're absolutely correct. Connection is everything. You have to be centered with yourself. And you know what? That's a journey. You just don't find that overnight. You don't look in the mirror and be like, I know who you are. There's been plenty of times, I could tell you throughout my life, I looked in the mirror. There was days I didn't even know who that was in the mirror.
Yeah, I know.
With tears in my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mascara running down, Maybelline mascara running down my face.
Right. And
like, who are you?
Right. And I think that what I've learned is because how did the relationship started with you when you first arrived on. So I'll take this back. I'll use this as for me. I use myself as an example. The relationship that I had myself when I was a kid continued as I grew. I went through ups and downs, things like that. Of course, I love myself to some degree, but I felt like I identified myself through other people's lenses.
Oh, absolutely.
Than my own.
Absolutely.
Because, especially like the background, or you do what I say, this, and that, the third. Now, and that's why I always say the first teachers come from home. The first teachers really come from home, because I used to feel like, okay, it's okay, it's whatever they say go, or if this is what it is, okay, then that means it's right. And then that lingered on for me to seek validations outside of myself, and I didn't know that. I didn't understand what I was doing until I got older and more of aware. And that's another thing too. Awareness is everything. So we can go through somebody could tell me, and you could tell me to your face turn blue. And so I'm aware of it. I'm not gonna see it. I'm not gonna understand it. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware, how I identify myself. So like Proverbs 27, verse 19. You see your face in the mirror and your minds and the thoughts of others. And I used to operate like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I really did. It started in your childhood. So when they say childhood traumas, if you don't heal that, and I have to go back and keep nourishing her. Yeah. So I could catch up to me. Because that's who's the wounded person. I need to heal first. You know what I'm saying? Because then that caused me to allow stuff for how I allow myself to be treated in relationships. I allow myself to be gaslighted in situations, because evidently I identified with it. Because I didn't know how to identify with myself. I didn't know where I was at. But I'm glad we brought up the topic when we were younger, because from the time from infancy to toddlerhood to adolescence, we are identified by our parents as a queen, or, excuse my French, a bitch, or MFer, or that's who, or a king. So we're first identified by our parents, like you said. Then as we get into our adolescence, depending on those labels that are given us in an unhealthy or healthy relationship with our parents, we allow our peers to identify us, right? I want to be in with the good crowd. I don't care how toxic they were, because the toxicity was fun for me. I ain't even lie. The healthy peers and the healthy relationships, that was to me. If I didn't have that at home, I wouldn't want that at school. Exactly. Right? Yeah. So if I don't want that in school, that's gonna trickle into adulthood. So all my life, in all our lives, we have poured what society says we are. Our parents are. Yes. What society or our parents say we are. Exactly. And that's where the part that, when I think about it, I identify with what I felt validation from others will make it, like, what I'm saying, like I'm fitting it. And I'm doing okay, because it was from home. So now that I'm older and I'm more aware, now I know how to teach my son to love yourself first. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think a lot of us don't know how to love ourselves, because we never got properly loved. You know what I'm saying? And stuff and everything. So now, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm learning how to really love me in this season in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to understand that I had to remove distractions. A lot of times I put myself there. You know what I'm saying? And I think the person that's hard to get on you is yourself. Because you
Yes.
don't want to accept like that was you. That was me. No, it was you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And that's why I felt like, and then there goes the shame, the blame, the guilt, like everything. I went through every emotion, and I'm still going through certain up and down emotions that I'm working out because it's like how, like I can't beat myself up. But
Yes.
I wasn't, even though I was going through it, understood, but I didn't understand the lenses that I have today.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't look at it in that way because I didn't see it in that.
I think that led us to our missions in life, our goals in life, you know, even in our situations that got us to this point. You know, tragedy has a way of showing you through the pain there's purpose. And I believe that with all my heart. There's nothing in my life I ever regret. Nothing. Nothing. I don't want to be rich. I don't want the mansion, even though it'd probably be nice, but too much house to clean.
Yeah.
But in that relationship with ourselves, that took years of nurturing and doing what we do. Pouring into people has helped me pour back into myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even when it's just a simple compliment, like, "Oh, you're an angel," and I'm like, "I'm just me."
Mm-hmm.
What do you talk? What do you see that I don't see?
Mm-hmm. That helps. That's
Right?
right. When people can see things in you and stuff. I remember one time we did that. When we did that tape race together, and I was like, "You didn't know I was warping in my mind." It was like I would have never known, girl. The way I see you, it's like this strong and everything. And yes, I am those things, but in that moment, I wasn't that strong. You know, I was going through because that's where the learning started to begin with me. And last year it was my transformational year. So I had to, and see me, I'm going things happen overnight. I do. I'm going to hurry up. Like, hell no, I don't. So I'm still like, it's going through it, like, and I'm still having like working it out, going through it and learning these things. So at that time, I was in the transformational period because I couldn't understand what I was going through. So now that I look back on it, I can see that. So like now this stage, it's like now I have to be more disciplined and aware and be consistent in what I want to do. And I'm still transforming though. I'm still healing. I'm still growing in some areas in the same like areas. You know what I'm saying? Because it's other lessons that have to be learned. And I feel like the most important relationship besides God, of course, I feel like when you have a relationship with yourself, you're having a relationship with God because God is within you. And you have to have that relationship with self. And I feel like that's very important. And like what I told you earlier, you know, about some things and stuff like that. I have to trust myself because I know. Like, you know what I'm saying? And stuff. But sometimes I be worried about other people and their things and everything and trying to prove myself to someone else. But I just need to prove it to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't make nobody feel no way. I can't make nobody listen to me. I can't make anything. It's unfortunate. But I know. God knows. Yeah. And that's all I'm gonna stand on. Like, you know, so what I have learned in this process as well, and we're talking about healthy relationships today, was you can't have a healthy relationship with no boundaries. Boundaries are so important to keep people in their place and to protect your peace, your joy, and the love that you have for yourself. For years, I didn't have boundaries. I didn't know how to say no until I remember I was teaching classes for the batterers intervention, and I had to tell them, you had to, the lesson, learn how to say no and stop people pleasing. And I was like, that doesn't make sense, you know? Even with our kids, how many times do you tell them no? Hardly ever. Mom, can I have a drink? Can I have some of your food? Oh yeah, here. And when I had the power of saying no, it was like, I can have this whole bottle to myself. Wow. And not be selfish. Because it's selfless not to think with me. Yeah. Exactly. Like, so that was like the thing for me was I had to set up boundaries with my family, my close family, my friends, my coworkers, my career, you know, and we'll go over like certain types of boundaries. But what do you think a boundary that you set for yourself helped you in your journey of finding yourself? I would say, because there's physical boundaries, which refer to personal space and personal touch.
There's emotional boundaries referring to feelings.
Mm-hmm.
We got intellectual boundaries that are thoughts and ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell everybody your thoughts and ideas, right?
No, you're right.
We've
Yeah.
been around the block,
Yeah,
you know? There's sexual boundaries
Mm-hmm.
where refers to how and with whom you want to express sexuality.
Yes.
There's material boundaries referring to how you use your money and possessions, and there's time boundaries, how you spend your time. So what has helped you in your journey?
I would say my emotional boundaries. And it's because it's just about it's really set a boundary with myself.
Mm.
I have a habit which I'm still working through,
Mm-hmm.
growing through.
Mm-hmm.
Is to not overthink about certain things, especially when things that are out of my control. Like I know the incident, but it was fresh. So, but I've learned to do that for myself to make myself feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you get tired of being mopey and sad or thinking about something else out of your control. That's another thing, like on control. I didn't really realize at the end of the day, I can't control the outcome.
Ooh.
I have no control of the outcome. I can't worry about the outcome. And that was my issue. And I didn't know, not physically or wanting like to control somebody. I'm trying to save the narrative for it to be something. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. And that's just unfortunate, but it's like there's no other freaking way around that. You know what I'm saying?
So you said emotional boundary, right?
Mm-hmm.
So someone with a poor boundary or no boundary to emotional boundaries is oversharing or taking on too much of someone else's emotion. So boom, right? It kind of said exactly what you were talking about earlier. You know, you got emotionally attached and involved right away. Like, how dare you come into the situation and disrespect me and my peers? We weren't even having anything to do with you.
Right.
And a lot of times we do that in our own personal relationships. Like, I'm going through something and I'm trying to overshare. And
yeah, no, you're right.
But if you have a healthy boundary with that, sharing and connecting with others in a way that feels right to you.
Yeah, leave something for yourself.
Yes.
Like, leave something for yourself. Everybody ain't got to know everything, even though you're going through. Like, you know what I'm saying? And stuff. So I always feel like leave some stuff for yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that is something that I've learned as well.
Oh, yeah.
What about you?
I think the hardest one I had to really battle with throughout my life was time boundaries. I would give my time to everybody, anything, and it was a burnout. You know, we were constantly doing events and doing this and I was like, my poor boundary was wasting time on things that don't matter and allowing others to dictate my schedule. Me. I need you to be here. I'm there. I need you to do this. I'll do it. And it goes back to the people pleasing. I was a people pleaser.
Yes.
Because as kids growing up, what do we look to? Please our parents when we fall or we do something when we're in our adolescence. They're like, yay! We're like, yes, mom's happy, dad's happy.
A reward.
Right? When we're getting into our teenage years, we look to our peers, what made them happy. And then in relationships, as we get older, what makes our partners happy? And I had to learn that I had spent too much of my time making sure that everybody was good.
Yeah.
And so with creating a healthy boundary, I devoted enough time to the things that are important to me.
Yes. I like that.
What's important to me? My time. Because my time is my peace.
Yes.
If I don't have no time in the day to read a scripture, to sit and have a conversation, there's me and you don't talk all the time. Because we're always go, and you know, you have your baby and there's times I respect my own time. I don't want to pick up the phone. Let me text you the other night.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, I'm like, look, I'm old school, so sometimes I'll like text. I just try to tell you real quick.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just my thing. Like, I'd rather just call and tell you real quick. But I just, it was like, you know, or whatever. And I said, well, I was just calling.
I was having a hard day.
Yeah. But I get it. Like, sometimes you don't want to talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was supposed to call my grandma, and I ain't calling her because right now, the way I was feeling, like, I'm going to call you. I need to get through my moment, and then I'm going to call you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
In that moment, because I've learned how to set these boundaries, I respected my time because I was like, if I take one more breath, I'm already overwhelmed. If I take one more breath, if I hear her voice, I will break. and I couldn't. I had to hold me together. Like, no, Gloria, get yourself together. You just need peace.
Mm-hmm.
So
I respect that.
And it's a process, you know. And you have another question?
Let me see.
What's love? You mentioned love earlier, self-love.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that look like? What does that feel for you now?
I would say catering to me and my
Okay.
first.
Like what?
As far as nurturing myself, uplifting myself, having positive self-talk with myself, setting those boundaries.
Yes.
Not allowing things, that I don't need to, that comes to interrupt my life. And just really taking care of me, not just physically, spiritually, emotionally. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's important because taking care of yourself physically, get out there, exercise, some sun. That nature is here for us. We are a part of that, and we need to get that. We need to really get the walking and jogging and doing those things for your body. Remember, your body is you. You gotta work that out, and also to eating right. We all like a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I've been working at it, like eating better.
Yes.
So I could feel better. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. And yeah, because when I get like 60, something like that, I don't want to have a problem. First of all, I don't like no shots. I don't know how old I am. I'm a big old kid. I do not like no shots. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want none of that. And it's just for my health. So I don't have to go through that. I need to treat my body how I need to treat my body how I want to treat. How I want to treat my mind. I have to. Just because I want to eat that every now and again, cool. But I need to eat more healthier than, you know what I'm saying, than anything.
Absolutely.
So yeah. And
That's
then
good.
yeah.
I think for me, the definition of self-love is learning to accept who you are. In your skin, the color of your eyes, the shape of your nose, your lip size, the size of your behind, your rolls, everything about you. When you look in that mirror, I look in the mirror, I'm like, good morning, gorgeous.
Yeah.
How are you today?
We're
gonna put some Mary J on, because if I have to pour into me first before I can help anybody. And if I ain't right, I have no position to help somebody else.
Exactly.
I'm in no position to
none. Yeah. Even though you can still offer the greatest advice,
greatest
thing, but I feel like you're still dealing with you. So you still don't feel like you're giving out all your best, if that makes sense. Because you can still be going through, but you can still be of service to someone. And I want to speak on this, and that's how I feel about my business. I will never forget that time when I got out of the hospital and you was working at the place, and I was such on a jump trying to hurry up to get stuff going, to do this, because I wanted to do this. But all this time, it'll be 9 years this year. All this time, all that time, I didn't know who I was. My life was different. My body's different. I'm still like one foot in, one foot out in the street. So I'm like trying to hang out, still trying to feel like the old me to get some normality, because my life completely changed. You know what I'm saying? So, and I had to accept that about me. And it was very hard to, but I'm like, Jasmine, you didn't understand what you was going through. You just responded the best way you felt like you could. So I give myself grace in that, because I went backwards on that. So as I was going through, and yes, I created Beautifully Scarred, and I love it. And the reason why I call it Beautifully Scarred, because I have scars that you can see, and I have scars that you guys don't see. But despite anything, I'm beautifully scarred. You feel me? And everything. So I developed that. And it's like, yes, I'll do some things here and there, and I'll do some great things and do workshops like here and there. But I know I can get out here and hit this payment. I know I can do this and that and stuff. But throughout the time of my life, through that, I was still dealing with me. And I'm learning to figure it out, how to find a boundary, like for myself. Like, okay, I think sometimes I'll be in my head, right? So about it. So I'm like, dang, how I'm gonna work, go to school, I'm at work, do this business, and take care of this baby. Honey, by the time I get home, I'll be tired. I don't want nothing. Girl, I barely want to cook. Like, I'll be trying to cook a couple of meals so that I would go home, heat it up, get in the shower. I gotta help you with your work. By the time I sit down, honey, I'm tired. Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, because I'm at work all day. Like, and then that's like even including the work stress that you go through. That's a
Mhm.
whole different world.
Mhm.
So then when I come, and then on the weekends, yes, this is where I was identifying myself with. I had other distractions that weren't maybe so healthy. Like, what I'm saying, being outside, having fun, but I could have been really working on this work. It was nothing wrong with me having fun, but maybe as much as I did, I should have been pouring more time. So I do accept that about myself. I take accountability
in the
that.
journey of creating a healthier you and
Mhm.
healthy relationships.
Mhm.
You really have to die to your old self. I remember this lady, I had her as a guest speaker one time, and she was society labeled her as one thing, and she remembered who she was. And she said, I put that woman in a coffin and I hammered the nails down. I buried her. But she'd be creeping. She'd be pushing up the nails in the coffin, and I have to go back and be like, no, bitch, you can't come out. And sorry for my language, but this is the way she expressed herself. And I that resonated with me because who I was, I enjoyed turning up and
in
going
that
out.
moment, but now
In
that's
that
not where you're
moment,
at.
and my turn up is different.
Mm-hmm.
My turn up is sometimes just relaxing, taking a hot shower, creating healthy boundaries and relationships with people that I really care about and who are not even my natural blood. We're a family by loyalty, not by bloodline.
Yes.
Because my bloodline, anyhow.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother topic. But creating these healthy environments and healthy relationships has helped me understand that who I can be around and who I should not be around.
Yes.
And if you have poor boundaries, if I connect with you, right, and we have if you have poor boundaries, like say for instance I meet somebody and they're overspending, they're overgiving in a way that doesn't serve their well-being, right? Because I've been in plenty of situations. I might not have the money and the person I'm with has the money and they're buying all the drinks and I'm like, man, like you're always broke. Right? You have material boundaries because they are trying to fit into a scenario and find themselves by overdoing it, by having material boundaries. I mean, you see these girls, even now, they're doing a lot of body modification to fit. They can't accept that they have a flat behind, or they don't have naturally plump lips, or beautiful skin. So they're trying to find who they are by injecting all these things, and that doesn't identify them. They have to look in the mirror and love who they are.
Now that I agree. I just want to finish up when I was talking about my business thing. So long story short, I felt like I couldn't give my best, but I still gave some parts of me. But I had to really take in heed. Like I had to take care of me. And try to find a balance of life because everything I've been through from losing siblings and everything, I lost myself. I didn't know how to really give, even though I did parts, but it's like, honey, I couldn't give me because I'm trying to figure my life out. And now I have more of a better sense of where I'm at because I had to remove those distractions first. I couldn't do it. I wasn't able to show up, in my beautiful scar where I know I could until I got those necessities out the way.
Ever since I met you, like you persevered through a tragedy. Like I don't even know if I could have went through it. But seeing you, I'll never forget the day when I always bring this up is when I seen you walk for the first time in front of your mother. And you're like, shh, I'm gonna do more steps and I'm gonna surprise her. And that goes back to our conversation earlier, right? Appeasing our parents at adolescence. And in that moment, that's what I seen. I seen a mother looking at her daughter walking for the first time. And I was like, this is a strong woman. Like, I've never seen a warrior so strong to go through what you went through and beautifully scarred. Like, I would never know you were scarred. Because who I seen, I was like, man, I seen beyond the scars. I seen strength. And sometimes we see that in people. Yeah. Like you said, our scars are internal. People have been sexually abused, abused physically,
Mhm.
mentally, emotionally, verbally,
Mhm.
and we would never know because they went through that journey of healing and self-love.
Yep.
So it's amazing
Yeah.
how we can connect on these certain levels. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we connected one time prior to that,
Mhm.
that when I met you the second time.
Mhm.
But I was so glad that God put me in that position to know you in that vulnerable moment
Yes.
and to see all the things they said you couldn't and you've done.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
truly amazing. And for you to come out and say, you know what, I have my own nonprofit. It's called Beautifully Scarred. I'm like, that's God.
Yeah.
I mean, He's
Yeah.
doing all the work.
Yeah. I had to learn how to show up for myself.
Mhm.
But it took time in different ways. Like I showed up here, but I'm not showing up there.
Mhm.
And so everything that I'm growing through in this moment of my life, that's why I know this is the transformational time for me.
Mhm.
Like this is the all like rebirth for me right now.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? To really like birth who I am. Like you know what I'm saying? I've been in you know cooking for a long time. So it's kind of coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And stuff, but it's and how to take me to develop more of a healthy relationship with myself,
Mhm.
with the acceptance, with yes, having to put away the old me,
Mm.
going through all that. These are different things, but all those people are still up. I'm still all those people, if that makes sense. So when you're talking about the lady with the coffin, in African culture, it's
Mhm.
called Sankufa.
Mhm.
Okay, so basically it's a bird and he's reaching back. So basically, reach back and get it. Because sometimes that person that you buried, there's something that they went through.
Mm.
That version we went through. And you have the strength, and sometimes you gotta go back and get that strength. You don't
Mm.
take the bad from you take the good. That's good. And you have to move it and let that back go.
Mhm.
So I'm learning like it's a part of me.
Yeah.
I don't think that I could bury her. I have to accept that version of myself.
Mm.
And that's the hardest thing for me right now. I'm currently going through because accept I didn't love me. Like how you didn't love you? How you didn't know this? You didn't know. I didn't know. Shit, didn't know. I was just living this life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also too, it's like
Mm.
we be so serious in everything and stuff, and it's just like honey, it's life.
Mhm.
I made some things, choice thing. I would honey, like you know what I'm saying. But it's life.
True.
It's my life, and I'm still breathing. I know what it was like hanging on the life,
Mhm.
and I'm here.
Mhm.
And so now that I'm aware, and I
Mhm.
see me. When I tell you, I didn't see myself for a long time. It make me cry. I didn't see myself for a long time. I was living in the lenses of my trauma, my pain, my hurt,
Mhm.
excuses, all those things. I don't make no excuse up for nothing I've done because it's what I did. I didn't like it. That was it is what it is, or accept things that I allowed. I didn't see myself. It took me a long time. It took me a long time from the things that I endured from my, you know what I'm saying? You gotta think, what happened to me before? My accident. That was unhealed. It's still there. It ain't go nowhere. It's still a challenge. I have to go through that. So I'm still going through these different things, but I'm glad I could see myself because I couldn't. I was lost in trauma, the heartbreak, losing my brother and sister. I wish that on no one. My life completely changed. And with that in itself, it's like, how do I move on? I didn't know how to identify my life and myself without them. And I'm trying to, them being a mother after that, you're a whole different person. Yes, I love my son. I got the greatest kid ever. You know what I'm saying? And but I tell you, the love that you want, the truest love you will ever have is from your kids.
Mm.
Even when you don't like yourself, they love you. That's true. You know what I'm saying? So by me now that I'm seeing myself, I'm learning I'm working on accepting because I have to.
So
You
do
know what
you
I'm
think,
saying?
real quick, when you had mentioned like you a lot of us have created we've walked around bleeding on everything that we've touched from our trauma. You know, we see in society every day that leads to violence. We're hurt, we're wounded. Some of us walk around, you know, physically just drenched in blood and just dripping everywhere because no one's coming and saying, let me help you heal. Let me love on you. what you need.
Mhm.
You know, you need food. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of the violence that we see in our communities is because of that. We don't know how to be healthy anymore.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you know, you knew your neighbor, you knew the neighbor's neighbor, and everybody knew everybody on the block.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like this.
It's like, I promise you, that's, I'm like, all this gaming and stuff. I'm like, honey, y'all don't want to elementary school good.
Right?
What y'all doing?
That part.
Like, come on, make it make sense. But also too, bleeding on people. But I feel like for myself, I was looking for a savior, and that savior was me. I wanted you to secure me.
Yeah.
And because I didn't know how to secure myself. I wanted to be around because I didn't know how to deal with the person I saw in the mirror. Or accept, as I said, false love. Because it was a sense of something. Because I didn't have the sense of me. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that's why we gravitate to talk to people? Like a lifesaver? Like I'm drowning and no one really sees me drowning, so I'm just gonna latch on to
I can see why you would say that, but for me, I can see why you would say that, but for me, I would say no. I've always been drawn to people. Like I've always been this since I was a kid. I was very happy, go like love being around. I love life. I love life. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a person like we people, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not about to make it out here alive. So let's do our due diligence in the best way we can as a community. Like, you know what I'm saying? A unity with 3 E's. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, so that's where I think that was for me already and everything. But like I said, the person I had to disconnect with was myself. Because when we're born into this, you know what I'm saying? But also too, we gotta think back too. I don't know what your parents did to you or what lifestyle they parents.
Oh yeah.
That's your video. But see, now it stops with me. In my household, it's not for me.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So now I've got the tools to teach my son. I want you to love yourself. Because loving yourself is what's going to get you by.
You know, you mentioned that about, how we when we grow up and how it reflects on who we are and things of that nature. And I take some of those tools from my traumatic experiences in my life and I use them now because they weren't bad tools before. I just didn't know how to use them. You feel me? Like, I thought my mom yelling at me and talking down to me was the most horrible thing. And I'm like, I was a horrible kid. You know what I'm saying? And the fact of not having respect, right? We seen our, and just real quick to be brief, a lot of times we mimic what we see. What was a healthy relationship? What was the first healthy relationship that I see? And it wasn't with my parents because they didn't show love and they didn't show affection. It was like, hurry up, get to school. Why are you so lazy? And I'm thinking like, oh, I'm lazy. Okay, watch when you go to work. I ain't waking up. Just being defiant and not thinking that's hurting them. I'm thinking no one's getting hurt, but not realizing at the end of the day, my parents are getting called from work, having to leave work for my bad choice of lack of respect and self-love for me, because they already graduated. They're just trying to pour into me to get my butt up and calling me all these names, right? So I think that just in that situation of growing up in that trauma, because I mean, for the most part, I would say I felt I was emotionally abused. In reality, I didn't love me. And then partially my fault because I let others tell me who I was.
Exactly. But also too, when you don't know what you don't know, you didn't know the love for yourself come first. That's also we do things outside of some on a natural basis.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? You know how to protect yourself, things like that when certain things come, but really the pour in you. But you know what's quick that you know what we do? Well, I know I'm done it. I could quickly inflict self-abuse.
Oh yeah.
Like self-abuse, quicker than nerve like this, like that, and I did not know. The same way you can inflict that love and pour it to yourself. And you know, and so that's why I love this day and age where it's like, you know, your mantras, your affirmations, those things, because you have to speak a life into you in order to pour into someone. So now my thing is the water that's the water that's in my cup is for me. Whatever spills out, I'm gonna give to you.
Let me fill my cup real quick. In a literal sense.
Okay.
Yeah, we walk around with empty cups.
I can't do that. That's why I couldn't find it.
That part.
I couldn't because it was empty.
Oh,
I never had it. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And when I did know, or I wasn't wearing, I had a little bit of it, but my mind didn't match it to what I needed. I had to get my mind together about that. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. So now that I'm here, this whole another journey. I made it, got here. And life is the journey.
Yes. Most
And
definitely.
so
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Even the ups and the downs, and I've learned to weather the storm because it's just a storm. We've been through so many, right? We've been through tsunamis. You know, and in life it's gonna throw you storms, and you have to learn how to be a storm rider. So in a sense of what we do here, that's what we're doing. This is a dialogue to talk about these things and express each other's journey and learn about how we're women of color, but our journeys were similar but different.
Yes.
You heal and your strength is not the same as mine, but I respect it. And I admire your strength and
I admire it as well.
If we were able to communicate this in a community sense, we would have less violence in our communities. We would have more unity in our communities. So that's the purpose of these things, is bringing people who were hurt and inflicted with pain, right, to heal and to heal our communities.
Right, and I love that too. And also something I learned from that. The only people you can help is the ones that want to help.
Boom. Can't help everybody.
As much as I want to, hey, get us together and do this and everything, and kumbaya, I only can help the community of the community that wants to help. Now, the other ones I could pray for.
Oh, yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But if we want to come together, if y'all want to come together, then we pour into each other, I'm cool with it. Let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can do that. But those are the only people I have a purpose for. Because others, they don't want it because they don't see it. And whenever the door will always be open when you're ready to come and pray.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? But I want to focus on the ones in the community that want it, so we can build. And maybe that can, you know, pour into someone else when they see it. Because whatever it lenses and eyes from where they see life, that's where it's at. I can't change that. And I had to learn that because I had to have it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, controlling without controlling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Trying to control the outcome, and I cannot do that. You know, as much as it pisses me off.
Oh, yeah. And it's a power struggle within yourself, because you're like, take this help, take it. And they're like, I don't want it. And so, like you said, in your journey of self and creating a healthier you and learning your environment, you just learn that you are who you are and you're going to be there. And I have to love you from here. Yeah. With the boundary. Yeah. I gotta help you with the boundary, and yeah, so I am excited for our next podcast. We'll have guest speakers, sometimes we'll have music and whatnot, but you know, this is just our first one. So I hope that you guys got a lot out of it today.
I know I got a lot. It was good to conversate. You know what I'm saying? It was good to conversate. Conversation is everything.
And it's healing. Yeah. Communication is the key to healing. A lot of times the lack of communication in our communities kills our community. You see what's going on right now in our society. We have to stand up with each other and rise together for a positive purpose in life, and that's to bring unity back to our neighborhoods. Yes. So our kids can have peace.
Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree.
So with that being said, y'all, I'm Gloria, the host of today's, there's two, me and the co-host, but I just want to leave you with this and have a good day on purpose.
Oh, I love that. And I'm out. I'm Jasmine. Remember to be good to yourself, loving yourself. Take a day, a couple days out of the month to nurture you. Don't forget about you. You know, and I want to leave you with this quote. It's my favorite quote. It's an African proverb. Is when you defeat the enemy within, the enemy outside cannot harm you. And I'm gonna leave it there. You guys have a good one. Take care. Peace.